Oh, man.
Welcome everybody to Are You Prepared for a Disaster? My name is Lori Coltrip. If you don't know me, my husband is Chuck. Where is he? That's a good question. He should be in any minute. But most of you know, I'm a certified natural health professional, and one of the things that I'm super concerned with is when we have a disaster, what can we do? So one of the people that I wanted to make sure that I got into our group is Wes Long. We met in New York in, I don't know, early 2000s. We've known Wes is like our brother from another mother. We know how to be stupid together. Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna really have fun today because Wes, Ty Wade, and Robin, you're gonna totally really get with Wes because he's like that. You know what I mean. Anyway, so we're gonna have so much fun today. And Wes, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess how I normally start this spiel a little bit is, so I've been in emergency response for a long time. I got started in it when I was at Bethel, went to college to become an EMT. And then even at Patterson, I kind of worked with the emergency response for the complex, working in medical services for the last 4 years of my Bethel service there. So I've been in this world of emergency response and emergency planning because at Bethel, I got to be on the team where there were 4 brothers, 2 from medical services, 2 from Bethel office, that taught all of the brothers that sat at the front desk emergency response and how to manage issues that come across. And then when I left Bethel, I started as an EMT in a local paid for ambulance service. And since then, I have become a dispatcher, and now we just merged with the hospital in Danbury. So now I'm a Danbury Hospital employee, and I work in the ambulance division as a dispatcher there. So our scope has expanded quite a bit now that we're part of Danbury Hospital. And for anyone that's in this area, Danbury Hospital was bought out by a company called Nuvance Health. Nuvance is huge. They own about 8 hospitals between Connecticut and New York, Putnam, Vassar. All of those are part of the Nuvance Health organization. So I have the opportunity now to assist with emergency response for that massive area. So it's become a passion for me. And then a few years ago, as everybody remembers, we started getting recommendations from the branch to have a go bag. Like, that's not new, right? It's just everybody should have a go bag. Like, that's not really negotiable at this point in time. In my congregation, and Lori will remember this because we were in the same hall for a while, we have a very, very mature population. A lot of older brothers and sisters. So this midweek meeting was just right up our alley for our congregation. Just the crown of beauty, gray-headedness, and as a result, when these individuals were recommended to go and get a go bag, it was overwhelming. They just didn't know where to go, and I kept hearing that over and over again. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to get. What should I be doing? So I have a little bit of OCD. I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So I started really sinking my teeth into it with the goal of just helping the older friends in my congregation. That was my goal. I work nights in dispatch, so I had time. So I just started pouring through YouTube videos, paying attention to everyone who is anyone in the world of emergency preparedness. And my goal was to take all that information, distill it down into something simple for the brothers and sisters in my congregation. With that, I started preparing myself, really going above and beyond, getting more and more products. And then I started having what was called go bag parties. And I just would go around to different friends and just show them my bag, explain to them why I purchased the things I did. And I came up with a little brand. It was called Go Bag Wesley. So I could start labeling some things and just have a composite, kind of like the little entrepreneurial thing. But you see I'm wearing something that says Instinct Ready. Jason and I, we met maybe 3-4 years ago when we were both being trained for Fishkill, the branch in Fishkill, to do PCA attendant duties. We were getting our 1-week training at Wallkill together. We just happened to be in the same class. We just hit it off. Just like Lori, he's good people. So we just hit it off immediately. He had been working on something where he's a CPR instructor and doing some education. We kind of kicked around the idea for a little bit, and we finally incorporated last year. So now we have a company based here in New York, Instinct Ready, and this is what we do now. And we thoroughly enjoy it. Obviously, we're starting with the base of our brothers and sisters, but it is not necessarily for witnesses. It's a FEMA. We're trying to get recognized by FEMA. I've been in contact with people in the home office in DC and also in our regional office about our curriculum, trying to get it certified by them. So what we do is we, on a monthly basis at least, we have a 2-hour curriculum, and it's a pretty robust curriculum that we've created. PowerPoint slides, Q&A, demonstrations, and the friends and non-witnesses who have purchased it and they love it, because our goal is after that 2 hours, you walk away, you should have 0 questions whatsoever. We really get in depth. We give you a bunch of handouts from FEMA's website, how to get your family ready, prepared, a lot of really good documentation. In fact, we have a class next week. It's on Friday. It's over Zoom. Ever since COVID, that's what we've started doing now, is having it over Zoom. Our last class was a bunch of friends from California. I'd never met them before. A sister had taken the class with another friend in New York, and she loved it so much so that she paid for it again with all of her friends, and she loved it again and wrote reviews like, I paid for it twice and it was wonderful. I learned even more the second time. So,
Wes, how much do you charge for the 2-hour class?
Yeah, it's $15. $15 a login. And with that, you know, we're pretty confident that when you walk away from that, you're not going to have any questions, because that's our goal. That's how we built it.
So if we want to, in this group, if there's a great response to this and they want the 2-hour one, we can put that together.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Yep, you guys can join next week, or Lori, and I'll leave this with you because you're good at managing a lot of stuff. If you guys want your own class where it's just your people, we can do that too, because it's Zoom. We can do anything we want, right? So couple options for you guys. But what we're going to do today, because that's why you're here, right? So I don't want to hear about all this. So what are we going to do today? Give me something. So my plan for today is we only have a half hour, maybe 40 minutes. That is definitely not enough time to cover our robust course. So I'm not going to get into all the background and all the history and all of that. What I will do, and I hope you're thinking about this now, I want to field your questions, right? Instead of it being more lecture-based, which our other class is, I want to just start with, what are your questions? What are some of your concerns? What are you wondering about? What is, if you don't have a bag, what is prohibiting you from getting a bag? Let's talk about those things. If you have a bag, great. Are you happy with it? Or you know, why did you get that bag, right? Let's talk about some of those things. And I really want to make this a discussion that is generated by you guys, because, you know, I love talking about it from A to Z, you know, Adam to Armageddon, but just like in the field ministry, that doesn't really work. So I want you guys to have the opportunity to ask some questions, and hopefully I can answer them for you, because we've been doing this as a team for over a year, and I've been doing it as Go Bag Wesley probably for the past 6 years, going out and doing these meetings with individuals. With that being said, Lori, I do have a little bit of a PowerPoint, just if we wanted to guide the discussion just a little bit, couple of slides just to give some visuals and give you an idea of the format of how we do things, if that's okay. I could share my screen if you don't mind.
That'd be great.
Yeah? Okay.
And then for everybody, if you have a question, I'm doing the participants for you. You raise your hand and I'll interrupt Wes, and we'll let you unmute. I'll even unmute you. So you raise your hand, and then.
Thank you so much for interrupting Wes. I appreciate that, Lori.
I love interrupting Wes.
Yeah, you're the best. All right, hold on. I think we're about ready to share screen now.
Does it say join with video?
No, it's got people on.
Hey, it did. What happened?
Okay. Yeah, I'm in. Bye.
Mama, thanks for your video.
Mute, mommy. Hit mute.
I got it.
You got it?
Thank you.
All right. So one of the things that we've developed, can everybody see the screen, the 8 essentials?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is kind of our moniker. This is these are the 8 things that we feel In an emergency, again, in an emergency, there's only going to be two options. Either you're going to stay or you're going to go. Either it's a shelter in place, and we've heard that a lot with COVID, right? Or it's going to be an evacuation, which in case you need to go back, right? If you're going to go, you need to go back. So that's where that terminology kind of comes from. But whether you're sheltering in place or you're on the move, these 8 essentials are what we determine are a necessity for you to address. Across from left to right, top to bottom, left to right, you've got water, food, clothing, shelter. And then again, left to right around the bottom, you've got communication, navigation, health and hygiene, tools. And then the 8th is what we call special considerations. So what we do through the course of the class is we start going through each of these one by one, as you see here. Water, right? We help you understand the reason water is a necessity, right? Body cannot survive more than 3 days without water. And then if you drink contaminated water, you could really be messing yourself up. And then we give these the minimal standards. And these standards are found from FEMA. A lot of people know who FEMA is, with the Department of Homeland Security, OSHA. These are the governing bodies that make the regulations for a lot of the things that we have to do. These are their recommendations, right? Shelter in place, 1 gallon per person per day for 5 days really isn't a problem because you're at home. You don't have to carry anything, right? But if you're evacuating, you're going to want to scale that back because it's just hard to carry. Does anybody know how much a gallon of water weighs?
Too much for me to carry.
I think a gallon of water weighs about, I want to say 8 pounds.
Correct. 8 pounds. So if you were going to carry 3 gallons of water, that would be 24 pounds in your pack that was dedicated to nothing but water. You can see the difficulty with that. So for us at Instinct Ready, we recommend 1 liter per person per day for 3 days for a total of 3 liters. A liter is only 2.2 pounds. So for the total, you're at 6.6 pounds. And the beauty is with, how we have our things set up, you're going to get all 6 pounds in your bag, and then each day you're going to be drinking 2 pounds, so your bag will get 2 pounds lighter every day. Right? As you're getting more tired, the bag is getting lighter. And then we talk about additional options, right? There's other ways to get water. If you don't have it with you, you can filter your water. Anybody here heard of purification tablets?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Most of us have, and it's very important to know what your options are. Here's one thing that I learned that I didn't know, and I won't put anybody on the spot for this. Did you know that water purification tablets are rated for a certain amount of water? Okay, and for how much, right? Yeah, usually each tablet is rated for about 16 to 17 ounces. So if you've got a 32-ounce container, you're going to need 2 water purification tablets to properly sanitize that water before you can drink it. And then if you've got a container that's too small or too big, you can over or under. Either way, you can still get sick, right? So it's little things like this that are very important to know what your options are and how to manage your resources. And then we play this game, survive versus thrive. So we'll do it here. Can anybody tell me the difference between survival and thriving?
And let's raise our hands, okay?
Ooh, yeah. Little blue hand.
I like blue hands.
Smurfs.
Survive versus thrive.
Survive versus thrive. Anybody? Or what's the definition of one of them?
Debbie Tao.
I am going to take a stab at it.
Dab away.
Thriving, in my thinking, is you are doing very well. You're healthy. Everything's going well. Surviving is the minimal amount you need so that you don't pass away.
Yeah. Yeah. So well said, Debbie. Yeah, surviving means you're not dying, right? That's good, but you're not enjoying it. You're not having fun, right? So what we try to stress is individuals that take this course, even for 30 minutes, or come and pay the $15 for the 2-hour course, you are spending time, effort, and energy to be proactive. So don't just be proactive enough to survive, be proactive enough to enjoy yourself. So in the case of water, and again, I'm going to ask this, and there might not be a lot of hands, and that's okay because we haven't played this game yet. In terms of water intake, what are some things that you could do or add to your pack to thrive as opposed to just survive. Take a moment. Not a blue hand, but that works. Lori?
Oh, somebody else raised their hand. Soto family. You're on.
Yeah, I'm off camera, but I would think that one of the things is water filter straw. I've seen them before. They take little space and they're very light.
Yep, I can speak to that. We have Instinct Ready. We're wholesale distributors for Life Straw, who is the leading brand management for that, and then also for Sawyer. We're also wholesalers for Sawyer. They have the Sawyer Mini, which is a water filtration system as well. So the concept then is, and I don't disagree with you, making your life easier by having tools with you that can do the work for you. That is one way to more than just survive. I agree 100%. 100%. Can we think of any other ways? Lori?
I know.
What do you
My
know?
husband would thrive if he had a couple of tea bags and a couple of coffee, like the Via coffees.
Right. So,
That would make
and
a
I
big
love that.
difference.
That's huge. And this is how we want to expand your minds, friends, right? You got to have water intake. We know that. There are multiple ways to get it. Filter, purification, bring the water with you. But there are things you can do to your water to make yourself enjoy the situation. If you're the type of person that you need coffee in the morning, otherwise you're a grouch, you're miserable, and everyone around you is miserable, get yourself some coffee. Make your life a little bit better. It's not expensive, and it doesn't take a lot of space, doesn't take a lot of weight to have some instant coffee in your bag. That same water that you have to survive is now helping you thrive. And the rest of your family will probably be very thankful for it also.
We have another hand.
Oh, go, please.
Soto family.
Okay, there you go. So a lot of people don't like to drink their water, or it makes it difficult, makes them gag if the water is lukewarm. So there are certain artificial sweeteners, give it that little raspberry taste or grape taste that you can buy. They're very tiny and only takes a couple of drops. And that's something that could make it somewhat more enjoyable.
100%. I agree 100%. I don't personally like the taste of water. Yep, I rarely drink water, but I do like Kool-Aid. Look, Lori, stop laughing at me. I'm just being real. So I
What
can
about essential oils? I'm sorry, I'm going, what about having essential oils and putting a couple of drops of lemon in there?
Oh, yes, something healthy, of course. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I like Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid and sugar. Like, I'm going to hook mine up so it's tasty, right?
You're going to eat the packets is what you're going to do. So
Maybe, but that's none of your business or anyone else's here. But I'm just saying, right? Make yourself enjoy the situation to some degree. Other things you could do that could be very useful, not just because of the taste, would be like Gatorade, right? When you get into something like Gatorade, it's going to be giving your body the electrolytes, allowing your body to perform better, right? So now you're thriving because your body is in a position to do better by what you're intaking, right? The Pedialyte, any of those types of things are going to give you these nutrients that are going to be just give you some more power, more energy than water, right? So in all we've talked about now is water, right? We've only talked about one of the 8. And hopefully already you're thinking about some things that you can do for yourself and for your family when it comes to water consumption to not just survive, but also to thrive.
hey Wes, do they have Gatorade packets?
They do.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Because dehydration is a major issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Right? And make that water work for you, right? Help it replenish things in your body a little bit better. So in each of these slides, we're going to go through that and just be thinking about that in your mind. Survive versus thrive. What can I do? Because again, I give you all commendation. Lori threw this out there and you guys signed up. So you're buying out the time to prepare yourself in advance. Don't prepare just for survival. Prepare to thrive. You're going to take the time and energy, reward yourself with going above and beyond because you can, because you've taken the time to do it. So kudos to you. Now let's talk about food, right? Body cannot survive more than 3 weeks without food. So this is one thing that I like to talk about. I like those survival shows. I don't know if you guys watch them. There's this one that I love. It's called Naked and Afraid. Love that show. Love that show. Now, the show is 3 weeks long. The challenge is 21 days. You know why? Because technically the body can survive 3 weeks without food, which is 21 days. So technically they can say if the person never finds any food, their body was able to survive for 21 days. That's the reason the length of the challenge is 21 days. Now, here's what I say to you. Yeah, your body can survive 3 weeks without food, but do you want to test it? Is that something you want to do? Is that thriving? Is that something that's desirable? No, because of the second bullet point. The minute you don't have food, you're losing energy, you're losing mental capacity, your decision-making skills are going to take a hit, right? So you want to keep your brain and your body nourished so that you can also to repair itself. If you get a cut or a bruise, it's going to take longer to heal if you don't have the proper nutrients, right? So again, the minimal standard, 800 calories per day times 3 days, 2,400 calories is the minimal standard. And this is set by FEMA, by OSHA, even in the world of seafaring vessels, they have to have on board the 2,400 calorie bars, right? For every single person that goes to sea. Because in case they're out to sea, they have to be able to maintain food intake for 3 days at 2,400 calories total, 800 calories a day. So those calorie bricks are very, very common. 2,400 calories, that's the minimal standard for 3 days of evacuation. Shelter in place is the same thing, but it's time 5 days, so you're gonna need 4,000 calories. But again, if you're sheltering in place, you've got what's in your cupboards, right? You've got the stuff at your house, what's in the basement, right? You have more things. Now, with this additional options, high calorie options, the reason we talk about this is I was doing one of these classes once, and one of the things that I recommend, just because I like them and they have a very high caloric intake, is Cliff Bars. They taste good, and I think they're like 250 or 260 calories per bar. So if you start calculating that in your 800, you don't need very many of those. You could get a couple packs of that, and in theory, cover your caloric intake for your 3 days, right? And once sister raised her hand, she just shot up. She's like, boom. I was like, oh yeah, please. Sis, what's up? She's like, I never get Cliff Bars. They are so fatty, blah, blah. And I'm like, she's like, I like Kind bars. I'm like, totally understandable. And again, I didn't give you guys this disclaimer, but I say it all the time. What is in your bag's got nothing to do with me. Got nothing to do with me. What's in my bag? Got nothing to do with you, right? It's very, very, very personal. So if you want Kind bars, put Kind bars in. But it does bear mentioning that shopping for every day is different than shopping for emergency preparedness. When you're shopping for emergency preparedness, you want things with high caloric intake, right? Normally, maybe when you shop, you're thinking, oh no, I want the thing with the low calories because I'm trying to maintain a certain weight or get down to a certain weight. In emergency preparedness, you want the calories because that's what you need to fuel your body to keep it fed and keep it nourished, okay? So it is a little bit of a mind flip. You gotta change things a little bit when you're shopping for emergency preparedness, okay? Now, survive versus thrive. How can we thrive when it comes to food? Crickets.
Culture family.
By getting food that you like, getting food that tastes good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Bond family.
All right, leave it alone, Lori. Okay, so I was looking at the noodles there, which seem to be like they're light, they're easy, they got the little seasoning with it. So like Brother Coltrip said, it tastes good if you like that sort of thing, but it'll kind of make you feel like you're having like some real food instead of surviving. You feel like you could thrive a bit off of something like that.
Absolutely.
Karen, did you have something you want to say?
Nope.
Okay. Matthew's family. I'm going to unmute you, okay? Oh.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, that one thing I was thinking as far as surviving versus thriving is if you have any health issues, making sure that you have not just basic foods, but foods that will keep you healthy along the way.
that's a big issue for me because I have a ton of food allergies. So Cliff Bars, as much as I like them, will make me feel horrible. And I'd
Yeah,
really rather not feel horrible during a disaster.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want
that's
you
the same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have Soto family.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that a year or so ago when we did ours, lessons learned. When it comes down to food, we want to make sure that we do our homework and do it way in advance. That way we know that we're not just packing just to pack. Because in the event of an emergency, the last thing you want is to pull out your food and find out, oh, I can't eat this. Or, oh, it's way expired because I didn't do my homework. I didn't check. And you're not going to thrive that way. You're just going to be barely surviving. So it's really important to just make sure that you do your homework and be very selective now that we can before the emergency happens to make sure that what we put in there is something that either that we're going to like, that we can eat, that it's not gonna expire very soon, and that it meets all the requirements. Because if not, we're just gonna suffer.
Melissa Irwin, I'm gonna unmute you.
Okay.
You're good.
And it's important to consider the types of food that you bring so that if you are in a position where you need to prepare it, then you have the capability of preparing it. So for example, if you have packed a ton of canned goods, but you did not prepare and think ahead about how you were going to open those canned goods and how you were going to prepare it, then there's no point in carrying and lugging all of those heavy canned goods if you can't eat it.
Yeah. Lori, are there any more hands up?
There are 3 more, but do you want to keep going?
No, let the people speak.
Carrie Yates.
Yes, I was going to say another consideration when it comes to food being that it's so important to both our survival and our thriving is that it needs to be a family communication about what we pack in those bags, because we don't want to make the decision ourselves and then not have what works to help others to thrive. It may be something there to help them survive, but we want everyone not only to survive, but to thrive.
And Paul Krisawati.
Okay. I was thinking too on thriving. We can buy a box of Cliff Bars or Kind Bars or whatever it is, and they're all the same. And if you're going to eat them 2 or 3 times a day, you're going to start getting bored about what you're eating. So I would suggest like getting a variety, get some chocolates, some maybe white chocolates, some peanut, whatever, peanut butter, and have a variety of things in your bag. And I think that would help you not only with your calorie intake, but also with thriving. It'll make you happy.
And Wes, if you could find a way to get ice cream in my go bag, I will be very happy. And we have
there's restaurant ice cream.
We have the Michael Coltrip family.
So we just now started going through the food that we packed to taste it in advance, because just in case it sounded good in theory, it made it into the bag, but we got out in the woods and everyone's like, this is disgusting. A friend recommended try it before you get out there. So we found so far that spicy tuna packets, they come in little pouches with ramen, delicious. They have a lemon pepper, they have seasoned tuna or seasoned chicken, and it cuts down on how many spices you pack, because some of us need the spice to get it down. And so that was like such a way that I was like, this is so packed with flavor, and it makes ramen so edible on multiple days probably. So that's something we could think of too.
Yeah. Do you want to just come and teach the class? Like, that would be awesome for me.
That's
like,
all our hands, Wes.
No, that's like, listen, so you a lot of you friends hit on so many different things. And I'm going to just kind of recap some of the things that are like super, super I think, valuable and important for us to remember. I cannot stress enough, whether it's food, water, anything else in your pack, test it. The first time you use it should not be in a crisis situation. That's not going to go well for you, right? It's not. So whatever you get, you got to test it well in advance. When it comes to food specifically, I got a funny story. I was in all the forums. I was watching what everybody said get, and there was a certain brand of food that they said get. So I'm like, I'm going to get it. So I got it. And one day I just did the same thing. I was like, let me test it. Let me see how it tastes. Nasty. Disgusting. But I was like, well, I guess if I'm surviving, it's going to taste good because, you know, because I'll be in such sore straits that I'll be so happy to have it. Nasty. So I then was reading about a different brand, and everyone was like, oh, this brand is so amazing. And you get one package of it, and it's like 2 meals. You can't even finish it by I was like, okay. So on a Saturday, I was bored. I just went and got one. And it was supposedly lasagna. And all you're supposed to do is, it's this dehydrated stuff. You're just supposed to put hot water in it, stir it, and let it sit for 10 minutes. I came back, and there was this cheese pull. And I was just like, oh, this is glorious. And it tasted amazing. Like, it is now my favorite brand. The minute our company got big enough to partner with them, we did. And this is the brand right here. We have it in our shop, Mountain House. So the beauty of these is they're freeze-dried. All you do is add hot water to this pouch. You cut the top, you rip the top, got little notches, you rip it, pour hot water in it, and you stir it, and you let it sit for 10 minutes. It reconstitutes, and this is beef stroganoff with noodles. I have 1 beef stroganoff in my bag and 2 lasagnas in my bag. And their facts are 260 calories, but there's 2.5 servings per container. So this is over 500 calories in just this one bag. That Saturday when I was bored at home to do it, I could not finish this whole package by itself. So it is 2 meals. And it's delicious. And what was that? Oh, what's the shelf life? Excellent question. 35 years.
What?
30 years. 30 years this stuff is good for. So
yeah, so Cliff bars only last like 6 months. So you have to be in your go bag several times per year to change them out. And I always forget, so I have to throw them out every time. Debbie Taub has a question.
Please.
Debbie.
Might be muted.
There we go. I'm so sorry. I couldn't quite see the name of the product.
Oh, Mountain House.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Great brand. We love them to death. We're a wholesale distributor of them. We have a bunch in our shop. We have a little showroom here. Absolutely love the brand. 30 years. It tastes amazing.
That's crazy. Matthew's family, do you have a question? My unmute button isn't working for you guys, so go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. So my question was, do they have gluten-free and dairy-free options?
Yeah, we're looking for paleo.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
oh, they do?
So,
okay.
Yeah, my mom is gluten-free. So anything that is kind of Tex-Mex is going to have your gluten-free when it's like rice and beans and also like chicken or something or I think I got her teriyaki beef, which was gluten-free. So yeah, they do have gluten-free options as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, they've got a massive, I mean, they're a massive brand, so they've got a lot of options.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. But yeah, so just test, thrive, have stuff that tastes good, right? If you're gonna have to eat it, might as well enjoy it, right? It sounds simple, but sometimes we forget to do those kinds of things for ourselves.
Just so you guys know, Wes does have these in his shop, and we're gonna give you a coupon code at the end so you can get them cheaper. So hold your horses, don't hop on Amazon.
Good call. So now I want to be honest, it's 4:37 already. We've only done 2 of these 8 essentials. How are you guys feeling for time? Because the other thing I did want to show you after we go through this whole spiel in the class, the 8 essentials, we then show individuals this.
I'm gonna I'm gonna unshare your screen, Wes, because
Oh, too small.
can you share it so we can? I'm gonna spotlight your
How can I stop my share? Where's my mouse?
I should be able to do this somehow.
Can you shut me down?
I'm gonna shut you down.
Oh,
There
I
you
think
go. Good. Now I'm gonna spotlight you so we can see you. There you go. Show us what you got.
There we go. So so this is our U-Pack. The U-Pack is instant grade. That's our little logo. So this is what we call the essentials. And this U-Pack essentials is based on the 8 essentials. Now, when we go through all the 8 essentials, especially in the class, you'll realize that there are 2 of the essentials that you'll never get anywhere, no matter how nice the company is, right? I hate to sound crude like this, but they're never going to be packed with your underwear, right? When it comes to clothing, you're going to put your own clothing in it, always, no matter who you buy it from. And then what we have is our number 8, which is special considerations. And that's when it could be, we talk about everything in special considerations. If you have eyeglasses, if you have contacts, if you have prescription medications, you know, what states allow you to have an emergency supply, a 72-hour supply of medications, prescription meds in advance, right? There's a lot of data that's out there, and there are a lot of things to think about. If you're on prescriptions that you have to have every day, that's part of your special considerations. We talk about money, right? How much money you should have, how should it be, small bills, cash, things like that. So clothing and special considerations are not in this bag. They're not going to be in any bag that you buy, right? But this bag, what we do is we normally go through it and we show you everything that gets shipped in it, right? You're going to have your first aid kit. So that's in there. And then what we've done is we've gone through and we have itemized and categorized things in a very specific and cohesive manner, right? So all of your tools and communication, everything is labeled in there that you need in that pack right there. And then also to a health and hygiene kit, right? All of the things are labeled in your health and hygiene kit, all of the things that you would need. So everything is highly accessible and labeled for you, as opposed to a lot of times when you buy a go bag, everything's kind of just thrown in the middle and you got to ferret through it to see what you want and what you need. Also too, it's a very high quality bag. The brand itself is the LA Police Gear. So we've partnered with them so that we could bring you something that's high quality, that's not going to quit on you.
Is it water resistant?
Yes, highly water resistant. Absolutely.
Because I like that everything's packed in plastic, because that's always one of my issues, is to make sure that everything's in plastic.
Yeah, that was one of our concerns as well. This is something fun when we get to shelter, when, you know, almost every single emergency prep person is going to say have a tarp in your bag. And I just find that so funny. So the reason you're supposed to have a tarp is because you're supposed to be able to fashion any type of shelter you want. Like, listen, bro, I don't know how to fashion. Like, can I just get something that's already the shape of a tent? Like, that would be very, very helpful for me, because I don't know how to fashion anything. So this is already a tent with the Mylar coating. Anybody know what the Mylar coating is and what it does?
Melissa.
I might be wrong, but I have a feeling it just protects you from weather, like cold or heat.
Okay, it does, absolutely.
Stacy Brown.
And I was gonna say it would keep you warm and probably water repellent.
Yeah, so if there aren't any more comments, what Mylar coating is.
We got one more.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if they got it.
Karen Black.
I was thinking it helps reflect the sun a little bit too. I don't know.
Yep, it certainly can. So this was developed by NASA. This is stuff that they use in outer space, and it's designed to trap and repurpose radiated heat from your body. So it will put the heat back into your body that's escaping. Or if you turn it outside, it will keep the heat that's outside away from you to keep you cool. So when you see shock blankets, this is the material that it is. And this tent that we found, that we sourced, has that coating on the inside of the tent to keep you warm and keep your temperature as high as possible inside that tent. We also source, instead of a 2,400 calorie bar, we give you a 3,600 just to give you the extra calories so that you have a little bit more. And then we're going to give you a couple tools, some really big key tools that I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to emergency preparedness. Does anybody know why we pack a trowel and what it's for? Debbie's laughing. I know you got it, Debbie. Unmute yourself and tell the class.
Okay, go Debbie.
All I could think of was that scripture about going outside of the camp.
Yes. Yes, this is, sorry, it's a pooper scooper, but actually it's not. It's to dig a trench so that you can use the bathroom in it and then keep yourself clean and sanitized. Often forgotten, but if you're out in the middle of nowhere, this could make the difference between keeping you clean and healthy and sanitized or not. This is an item that I love to ask. I love to ask this question when we get to this portion. Does anybody here ever have a fireplace or lived with a fireplace? I see some heads nodding. Okay. Anybody who nod their head yes, who's lived with a fireplace before, how much wood does it take to keep that thing burning? I see Susan already.
Mom? Mom?
How much wood does it take, Susan?
So much. So much.
So
You
much
make-
wood,
It makes
right?
you wonder if it's worth it.
It's not just one of those $5 things that they sell in the store. That won't work.
That won't work. Yeah. So a lot of the bags in our experience are focused on fire starting, right? You get your flint, you get all these things to start fire. Okay, we're just gonna give you matches because everybody knows how to use matches, right? Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. They're waterproof matches, so that'll be helpful. Starting the fire isn't necessarily a difficult component. The difficult component is keeping enough wood treated so you can keep it fed. So something that most cases forget or never put in is something to treat your wood so that you can continually keep your fire fed. So we pack a handsaw in there, a locking handsaw, so that you can cut down some trees, process the wood so that you can keep your fire warm to keep you alive.
Wesley,
Right.
we have a question. Melissa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I left it up.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, okay, cool. So then the last thing essential is we give you water. We give you 3 cases of water. So each of these cases is a full liter of water, and it's got 8 drinking pouches in it. So this is your daily supply of water, and it's very easy to not get it wrong. And then you don't have to forage. That's what I say. You don't have to forage for and then filter any water because you've got the water on you. And again, each liter is only 2 pounds. And then as you drink your water each day, your entire pack gets 2 pounds lighter. So this pack, a lot of times people ask, the shipping weight for this is 20 pounds, and that's with 6 pounds of water. So that's how much it weighs as the essential. And then we have a pack beneath it, which we recommend for older populations and younger populations. That's a little bit scaled down. It doesn't have some of the tools in it, but it's still got the health and hygiene kit. It's got the tools and communication pack. It's got your 3,600 calorie bar. It's got your first aid kit, and it's in a smaller bag. So it's called the Lite, L-I-T-E. It's lighter. That ships at, I think, 13 pounds. And again, 1 full liter of water in there. So that's 2 pounds worth right there. So it's a little bit more manageable. And then we have a combo pack, which is the essential plus a light. And we take that tent out. Jason, could you get me a dome tent? We take this tent out. And what we do is we ship you what's called a 2-person dome tent. Thank you, Jason. And this fits inside the essential bag completely and zips up and closes, because now this is a 2-person tent. And again, it works best if the light is a companion bag to the essential bag.
So if, for example, Chuck and me, if we were going to buy one, I know I don't want to carry 20 pounds, or take my parents, for instance, it's definitely harder for women to carry that. So if you get the regular and the light, you know, the heavy ones for Chuck, obviously, the light ones for me, and then you get the 2-person tent instead.
Yep.
Right?
That's exactly how we've designed it. Yep.
That's cool. And Laura has a question. Laura Fields.
Laura.
Laura Fields, do you have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
How much does the bag weigh with everything that you just showed in it, that was in it?
Yep. 20
How
pounds.
much? 20 pounds?
0. Yep.
Okay. All
So
right.
we all need to start doing some weightlifting, I think is what it is.
Yes and no. I will say this, because of the way the bag is designed, and that's part of the reason we went with this. We've gone with what's called the LA Police Gear Atlas line, the 12, the 24, and the 72, because it's a very, very well constructed bag. This bag has very good straps, padded straps on it. It also has a chest strap, so it straps against your chest. And really, the really nice component is it's got hip straps. So the way these bags are designed, you cinch it tight to your hip so that your center of gravity and your hips are what's taking all of the weight. And then you close up the rest. So yes, it is 20 pounds. Can't get around that. But the way it's designed and the way it's going to sit, it's going to be designed to focus on your hips, the area that's the strongest. So you'll be able to maintain it. And my personal bag is way bigger and heavier than this. And I've had little girls carry it when I would take it to and do these go bag parties. And everyone puts it on and says, oh, wow, it's not nearly as bad as I thought. So don't get too concerned with the weight, because the way these things are constructed and put together, it's designed to be hauled and utilize your center of gravity in a very, very good way.
Thank you so much, Wes.
Yeah.
Are you willing to take a few questions?
Please.
Okay. Who has a question for Wes? We're going to talk about price later, okay? Don't worry about price. Aside from that, Soda family.
Yeah, Wes, certainly appreciate all the information and the good points and reminders. You mentioned to go bag parties that you've done. Have you ever done field training where you're actually with a group and you're actually, okay, we buy all this stuff, but a lot of times we buy something, we don't know how to use it. And learning how to use it during an emergency is not the most convenient time to learn. Have you ever put together like a field training where you're actually in the field and taking a group and, using the same stuff that we have in the bag to learn how we can use these things and prepare for it?
Yeah, that is an awesome question. Thank you. And just a reminder, all the info we gave you was only 2 of the 8. So the class is much more robust than even what you've gotten here. But to your point with the field training, we have not, but that program is currently under development. We are working on that because that is our ideal place where we want to be. Give the individuals the education, right? Our monikers, we educate, prepare, and equip. That's what we do at Instinct Ready, right? Individuals and communities about disaster preparedness. So through the classes, we can educate and prepare, because preparedness is a mindset. That's what we say. And then equip, we can give you the stuff. It is the next step then to get people that have purchased these bags to go on a retreat and actually put them into process and put them into work. So we're developing those programs as we speak. So awesome question. And as soon as they're ready, we will let you know.
I love that question.
That's a great question. So yeah, just follow us on our website, just subscribe, and we will keep you guys in the loop as to when that is ready.
And you're going to get, everybody here is going to get an email tomorrow with a lot of the information. You'll be able to see their website and everything like that from there. Michael Coltrip family.
Wes, what do you think about MREs? We've heard a few things about whether they're good, whether they're bad. What do you think?
Okay. So for those who don't know, MRE stands for Meals Ready to Eat. And usually when people are talking about MREs, they're talking about the military ration. So is that what you're talking about in particular? Yeah? Okay, cool. Personally, I love them. Yeah, I love them. I have them in my personal bag. So an MRE, the concept behind that is they give it to the individuals in the military because it's small and compact. And usually in that entire meal, you're going to get close to 2,000 calories in one meal between the appetizer, the entree, the dessert, the Gatorade packet that they give you to put in your water to give you the electrolytes. You're going to get around 2,000 calories. Now, for me, all of that was a bit much. So what I've personally purchased is the MRE entree only. And I have the Alfredo with noodles and chicken. And then I have the little warmer, because the really cool thing about those MREs is the way to warm your food, you don't need to have a fire. And that's for the military so that they're on the move, they don't give away their location. It's literally, you add a little bit of water and it's a chemical reaction that heats the packet, and then you put the MRE into it. And then what the military do is they put it in their pocket because it keeps them warm while it's heating their meal. And then even after they eat their meal, they keep the heaters in their pockets to keep them warm. So I love MREs. Personally, I have 3 in my bag because 2 things I heard doing the go bag parties for all those years was, 1, everyone always said, well, as soon as there's an emergency, I'm going to come find you. I'm like, whoa, slow your roll, sis. Nah, my bag is for me, bro. Nope, I'm a single man and this bag is for me. So I don't need to hear that. But I know what the reality is. And again, part of this being prepared is I do want to be prepared to help others. So I have one of these dedicated in my bag to give to the brothers and sisters. It will keep them fed, but you're not getting my lasagna and you're not getting my Alfredo.
How much does that weigh?
How much does this weigh?
Yeah.
I would sell.
It looks absolutely disgusting to me.
1.6 pounds. They're not absolutely disgusting. Me and Jason the other day, we were moving our office because we just moved to a bigger space, and we were like, let's just cut it open and eat some. And we did, and they taste like a shortbread cookie.
What?
Yeah, they actually did not taste bad at all. Jason, do you concur?
I agree. They're pretty good.
Yep, they were good. But yeah, 1.6 pounds, that's the brick. But I won't be eating this because I have lasagna and Alfredo for myself. But I will keep my friends sustained, so I don't look like the guy who doesn't help people. But that's for them.
No, yeah. I have all my oil in my lamp. I'm sorry, foolish one.
Sorry.
Go get your own oil.
Go get your oil.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, party's closed when you get back. No.
Oh, who else has questions? I'm still stuck on Edwin's question about having a. Yeah, well, that's way cool.
Oh, we've talked about it. We cannot wait to do that.
Yeah, Matthew's family.
Okay, so I was just wondering what the name of his company is again?
Instinct Ready.
Instinct Ready?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're all going to get some information on their website, location, and everything. I'm going to try to send it right after this class, okay? So, Wes, what do you suggest? I'm sure we have people here who have nothing prepared. I'm sure you have people here like us who we got our go bags when we were at Bethel.
So, okay. So that's a little while ago. And I know Jason, can you hand me the survival, the other go bag? I'll show you the go bag that you probably got when you were at Bethel.
We go through it twice a year. It's the ones that are in every magazine.
Yep.
The red one.
This one.
Yep. You probably got that one when you were at Bethel too.
Honestly, I did, and that is where I started.
Right.
Honestly, it is where I started.
So it's great, but the stuff expires quickly. And it's not everything you need for sure.
Correct.
And it's only for one person, and it's awfully heavy.
Yep.
It's awfully heavy.
So let me touch on that real quick, Lori, because you mentioned it, and I am a personal, firm believer in everyone should have their own pack. Now, you will see a lot of companies that sell packs that say a 2, 3, 4-person pack. Here's my issue with that. We've made a company out of helping people be prepared, right? So for you to tell me that your preparedness plan is that no matter what happens, you're going to be able to find your husband and you're going to be able to survive together because that's your plan, I'm hard-pressed to think that that's a viable plan. What if you never get a chance to survive with your husband and he's got all this stuff and you've got nothing, right? So I am not a proponent that talks about recommending 2-person bags, 1 bag for the whole family. I am all about each individual be prepared and keep your bag where it does the most good for you. So my recommendation usually is to keep your personal bag in your personal car. When you're at home, your car is there. When you're at work, your car is there. When you're out in service, if you're anybody like me, I pioneer, I have the privilege of driving most of the friends most of the time. My bag is with me, right? Wherever I'm at, my bag is there. So to me, that is a viable plan in case of emergency. For your plan to be, no matter where I am, no matter what happens, I'm going to get home and get to my bag. I just question that as a plan.
That's never been our plan.
Right.
We have 2.
Yep.
We have 1 for each of us, but we started with the 1.
Yep.
And we add to it all the time, but it's something that we have in our calendar every 3 months.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
as part of family worship. Soto family.
Question. Yep.
Okay, so that brings up a good point. Whether to have it in the car, that's something that I have thought about in the past. My main concern is during the summer months when it's 100 degrees out there. Would our stuff go bad? The things that's supposed to have a shelf life of 10, 25, 30 years, is that going to be degraded? Is it going to go bad because of the heat? So these are the questions that run through my mind. So I'm very, skeptical about that. So if you don't mind educating me on that.
Yeah, and and it's not a matter of education. It's a matter of just it's a matter of checks and balances. I do appreciate that. I hear that question just about every single class, and this is how I answer it. It's a balance, right? Is it possible that some of your food may go bad because of the changes in heat between heat and cold? Sure, it's possible. Again, let's identify exactly what could go bad, because we say that randomly. The stuff that go. So we're talking water, and we're talking food. That's it, right? There's nothing else in there that's perishable. So let's just talk. All we're talking about is water and food. So water has an expiration date of 5 years from Daytrex, the ones that we send you, the packets. They've got a 5-year shelf life. That's a shelf life for selling, not necessarily for drinking, right? You guys know the difference, right? And that's because of the potential breakdown of the package, but it's water. The water isn't going to go bad. Me personally, I have no problem with that, and I've thought about the same thing. For me, I'd rather have potentially bad water than none of the items in my bag, right? Because that's your trade-off. Same thing with food. If this stuff has a 30-year shelf life, 30 years, pretty sure, even if I cut that in half because of my mistreatment of the hot and cold, we're talking a 15-year shelf life. Again, the balance. Is it worth not having my entire bag over Mountain House that might be a little bit bad? To me, it's an easy question. So that's how I look at it. Can't make that decision for you. But when we say the things that have expiration, it's only water and food. That's all we're talking.
Wes,
right?
has your water frozen and thawed in those packs and been not leaked?
Yep.
Okay. Because you live
They're
in a
not packed to the brim.
Huh?
Because they're not packed to the brim. Right? If they were packed to the brim with the expansion, then yeah, they would burst. But yeah, they're not packed to the brim.
Michael Coltrip family.
Wes, do you have any advice, like maybe like simple method or like a memorization of if there's like an injury or a wound and you're out there and you're remote or you're not near your hospital or anything else? Is there something like that you can remember, like, I don't know, bind it up or stop the bleeding?
Bind it instead of cutting it off.
Any advice like that? Like, because on the medical aspect of it, being an EMT, like, is there stuff that we have to do immediately, we should do immediately if we're on our own,
Yeah, great question. So part of the class, what we do, and I legally now have to say this, I'm not offering any medical advice because we're not a medical entity. Now, that being said, especially for witnesses, right? And this is something that we've just added to, I don't even think it's on our website yet. We've been partnering with a couple brands. The biggest push right now and the newest push in medicine in the state of New York is bleeding control kits. Okay? Bleeding control kits are becoming the hot topic. So much so in the world of EMS. Jason is also an EMS. He's an EMT, and he actually works down in New York City in Manhattan. So he's in the hot spot with COVID and all these things. New York State just passed regulation that bleeding control kits are now mandatory in public places, so much so that they can be removed from the ambulances because they're expected to be in every public building. And that's because of the increase of mass shootings. The world is realizing that bleeding control kits are becoming of the utmost importance. Now, for us as witnesses, whose blood is even more important because we are not going to be replacing it with more blood, bleeding control kits are very, very, very important. So what we recommend in our class when we get to it is take a CPR and a first aid class. take that class, because you're sitting here and you have the ability to plan ahead. We are CPR instructors. We have CPR classes. We can customize them to your needs. We haven't figured out how to do it over Zoom yet legally, because we have to have the component with the mannequins. But take a CPR class and a first aid class so that you don't have that question. Prepare yourself and get certified. That's part of taking care of yourself and your family. That's what we recommend in our class. Take those classes, get that certification so you know what you're doing. Make sense?
That's awesome. Awesome advice.
Yep.
I was going to do a poll, but I don't know how to do it. So can everybody raise their hands who wants to have a 2-hour class from Wes? Raise your blue hands. I'm going to give it another couple seconds. Oh, everybody's raising their hands.
I'm trying to raise my hand and I don't know where it is.
Okay. Almost everybody here is raising their hands. All but 4. So, well, and Wesley, you're not raising your hand.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Participant.
Yes. So almost everybody here wants to have that, Wes. So what I'd like to do is maybe we could schedule that next month sometime, just to have our group. And it's $15 per connection or per person?
Per connection.
Okay. And what do you got special for these folks here?
What do we have special for these folks here? I think we talked about a 10% discount that will be called Changing Times 10. So I think you're going to send that to them.
I'm going to send
that
you guys a coupon code. Yeah.
That'll give everybody a coupon code at our website so you can make purchases. And I didn't finish your actual question, Laura. You asked what our recommendation is. Our best seller is the Essentials Kit. That's the one that we recommend because it is the one that takes all of the guesswork out of it. Just the essentials, boom. That's the recommendation because it's going to take care of 6 of the 8 essentials. You know, your clothing and your special considerations you're not going to be able to get from any company. But other than that, you could pretty much get that bag, and I would never recommend this, but you could pretty much get that bag, throw it in your car, and know that you're good to go.
That's cool. Cynthia Bonds.
I'm not sure. I was just agreeing with what he was saying.
Oh, you had your hand up. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, because I finally figured out how to raise my hand for the.
Oh, for the class. Okay, gotcha. So
Yes.
that's
Right.
for the class. Awesome.
Yes.
Chris Awadi, what you got? Dad, did you raise your hand? Okay, let's lower your hand. All right. So I think it's cool, Wes, that can you say something, Wes?
Can I say something?
Yes, I knew you could. I think it's cool that you call that kit essentials because most of the people here are essential oils enthusiasts. I think that's awesome. And I also think that you should add something cool to your kit for people who are essential oils enthusiasts.
I agree. We talked about that. There's a lot of potential there to do that because we can customize anything.
So let me share for off of that topic for a second. I want to share with you guys something that you probably don't even know exists. But Wes was talking about thriving instead of just surviving. Tell me if you think this would be something that would be worth having. It's got your Thieves toothpaste, hand sanitizer, dental floss, mouthwash, a toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, lip balm, shower gel, body lotion, and moisturizer. Do you guys, any of you guys think that would help you thrive during that time instead of just surviving? I think that's awesome. $50. That would be a really cool thing to have. In fact, I'm going to order one. I never even thought about it until Wes and I started talking about this. That would be a really cool thing. Also, when I send you this email, I'm going to send you a couple other things that I'm going to put in my go bag that I think that everybody should probably have in their go bag. Leslie Fields.
Hi, so my question is, so in your kit, because Lori mentioned toothpaste and all this, so in your pack that you have, the toiletries are not in it.
No, he
correct?
has the toiletries in it.
Oh, he does.
I'm talking about an upgrade to a thriving. Yeah, he's even got the feminine hygiene kit in there. Isn't that nice?
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm glad, Wes, that you have a feminine hygiene kit in your go bag. That's really good.
Yeah, our ownership core is 1/3 female, and we wanted to also make sure that we didn't add the pink tax to it. So it is the same cost as if you get it or not.
That's awesome.
We didn't want to have to upcharge for that. She was very, very concerned with the pink tax.
That's fantastic. I love it. Any other questions? Chris Awadis?
Yeah, you haven't gotten to this point yet, and we have money in our go bags, and we have $1 bills. How much do you recommend that we put in our go bags?
Yeah, I hear this often, and we do talk about it when we get to special considerations. I recommend $200 to $300, and what I recommend is small bills cash. I don't recommend all the way down to ones. I recommend nothing larger than a 20. But again, in the class, what we talk about is the concepts why. You know, why is it that we recommend small bills cash? And obviously, you guys have ones. You've probably thought about that. It's just in times of disaster, people are not going to make change for you, right? They're not. So they're going to say, you want one bottle of water, all you have is a 20. I'm going to take your 20, right? So that's the concept behind having your small bills cash. But I don't think you need to get carried away with ones and fives, especially when you start talking about quantities of hundreds of dollars. But just be cognizant of that again. And that's what we do to educate, prepare, and equip individuals, is to have that conversation so that you're prepared for that potential eventuality. And then that, you plan for it.
And money machines probably won't even work a lot of times in emergencies. So you wouldn't be able to get any cash.
And which is why you want to have it prior. Yep.
Right.
But as a pioneer, I always hit that up first. I'm like, man, I need some money. Oh, I've got money in my go bag. There's my break. Oh, sorry.
Coltrip has a question.
Is the money included in the go bag?
It can be. We'll just charge you an additional $200, but we can absolutely do that for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Look at this guy. Good to see you, Chuck.
Good to see you.
Photo family.
I have a question. I couldn't help myself. I started peeking at your website. And I noticed the backpacks, there's different ones saying 12 hours, 72 hour, 24 hour. Can you explain that a little?
Yes, I can. That is just the designation that the company that makes the bags gives them. Because the company that makes the bag is the LA Police Gear, and they come in the 12 to 24 or the 72. Our light bag is the 12-hour bag. Our essential bag is the 24-hour bag. Our Pro Pack, which is currently not available because we're upgrading it and we're making it a little bit better, that is using their 72-hour bag. But those are just the designations that the company LA Police Gear makes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Matthew's family.
Okay, so my question was, so you said $200 to $300. Is that per person or is that per family?
I recommend per person. Everything that we recommend is per person.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Leslie Fields.
Yes. So your pack, I noticed it had a N95 mask. Are they still included in your pack?
Wes, you're muted. Gotcha.
We've had N95 masks and toilet paper in our packs ever since the beginning, and we will always continue to source those.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brown.
So I was looking at the
Penny
UTAC bag. I was looking at the UTAC bag. A lot of the stuff I already have, but there are some things that you have on your site that I don't have. So I guess I can just pick what I want and put it in the bag, and it'll calculate the price. And I can add my stuff into the bag once I get it.
So you got a couple options, Brother Brown. You can buy our pack complete, and then we've also found a way to parcel it out as individual kits and components. So say you just wanted to buy this pack, you could do that. If you just wanted to buy a water pack, you could do that. If you just wanted to buy the tools and communication pack, you could do that. So you can piecemeal it. You can buy just the backpack itself empty, and we'll send that to you. So we've done all that on the website to piecemeal it so that we know that there are individuals that have already started a bag and they have some stuff. They don't need everything, but they do like perhaps our organization system. And they're like, ooh, I like that. Let me just grab that. So we've set that up on the website. You could do either.
Man, can I say something?
Please.
I love you.
Oh,
I
stop.
knew you would, Kenny.
We all love Wes. We love Wes.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it.
Yes, can I say thank you so much for being here with us? What I
Yeah.
would like to do is have on a Saturday afternoon the 2-hour one.
Yeah.
I think maybe more people will be able to come that way.
Love it.
And I think it will be absolutely awesome. We'll try to have it real soon.
Okay.
So that everybody can get more in-depth understanding. And nobody else doesn't seem to have any questions. So thank you so much for being with us. I'm gonna stop our recording. I mean, it was a half-hour class.
Sorry.
No, I didn't mean it that way. But I'm just saying that I'm expecting the 2-hour class to be longer than 2 hours, right?
It depends. We've been running it about 2 hours. We can get it. We can get through it.
Cool. Karen, did you have a question?
Nope. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you so much.